Hey guys!
Hello.
This is MaJeliv, just mom and dad on this one, as you could tell.
Yes.
We are now finally getting to starting The Crown.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you have already started, seen it, watched it. There's other videos about behind the scenes and featurettes with the cast talking about the things that happen in the show. We have avoided all of that so that we don't spoil our show for us. It's been a long wait, but now we're gonna jump in, start episode 1. We're gonna just sit back, watch, and you guys will see a little bit of highlight moments that we may encounter throughout the way. This will just be episode 1 of The Crown, season 4. And then we will do a further review commentary afterward. So stick around for the end. That's when the fun will really begin. We'll start discussing and talking about what comes next in episode 2. So thanks for tuning in. Today it's The Crown, episode 1.
Yeah.
So here we go.
All right. It's coming.
Today, the Irish Republican struggle for freedom enters a new phase. The time has come to escalate our efforts, redouble our militancy, spill more blood so that the Crown retreats and leaves Ireland forever.
My goodness.
And one in a bathing costume. Caroline Longman. Was she the one with the whip?
Not a whip, whiplash.
That was Anna Wallace.
Heck of a horsewoman.
She broke it off with him.
And am I right in thinking at one point there was even a Borgia?
Yes, Christabel.
Was she even a serious contender with that name?
From what I gather, the latest is,
Sarah
It's
Spencer.
a shot, look at that.
Johnny's girl.
his eldest. Yeah.
Oh, I rather like that idea.
No, we all do. She's fun, she's clever.
And unlike a certain Mrs. Parker Bowles, she's not married.
Oh, he's not still seeing her, surely.
After all the lengths we went to.
We can't be surprised. He was following the advice he was given, wasn't he, Dickie? You were the one who encouraged it. Telling him to sow his oats, play the field.
I was gonna ask that. Is that Sarah? Yeah. Shots are so breathtaking. Yeah, this must be Sarah. Maybe. What a house. I guess it's not a house. It's something far bigger than a house.
Little castle.
Yeah.
Mansion. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not here. I was given strict instructions to remain out of sight. I just have to get to that room over there. Oh, and this is the only way.
Oh my God.
Your Royal Highness.
I haven't seen a thing. I love Midsummer Night's Dream.
So do I. All the characters have such wonderful names. Flute, Snout, Goodfellow.
Snug, Quince, Bottom.
Yes, Bottom. They gave that part to a girl called Francesca Lamont, who also happens to have the most enormous backside. She took it personally. She's had a bit of nervous... I'm Sarah's younger sister, by the way. Please don't tell her you saw me. I'll get into terrible trouble. She wanted everything to be just perfect. She wouldn't want me to scare you off.
How would you do that?
Well, you know... like being a mad tree.
I won't say a thing.
Thank you, sir.
That's all it took. So enchanting.
I know, it's so awesome. I'm so young, too.
Mm-hmm. So well done, all of this.
And then it begins.
Mm-hmm.
People of Britain will help us give the Conservatives a margin of 19, 20 or 21%.
So good.
She seems so confident, does she?
I will not be drawn on any subject save the weather. It's a lovely day.
It's looking like a comfortable victory for the Conservative Party and the prospect of our first ever woman Prime Minister. So what do we know about Margaret Thatcher?
That's the last thing this country needs.
What?
2 women running the shop.
Perhaps that's precisely what this country needs.
It says here, as a young woman, she applied for a job as a food research chemist and was rejected after the personnel department assessed her as being headstrong, obstinate, and dangerously self-opinionated.
Really? Who else around here does that sound like? Mrs. Thatcher.
Your Majesty.
I also like to predict cabinets. My best so far was Mr. Wilson's second reshuffle. I got 90%. Would you like to hear my predictions for yours? I'm assuming no women.
Women?
In cabinet.
No, certainly not. Well, not just because there aren't any suitable candidates. But I have found women in general tend not to be suited to high office.
Oh, why is that?
They become too emotional.
I doubt you'll have that trouble with me.
She didn't look very good.
Looks like she's sick or something.
Gosh, can you imagine being there?
Remind me what is like me. I seem not to just have forgotten how to ride, but who I am.
Well, then let me remind you. You are the most brilliant, resilient, most determined young woman that I know.
And the nasty days of the horrors when she sits on a horse.
They will go again. With work, with determination, and a Battenberg refusal to give in.
Thank you.
The idea that you, of all people, should lecture me about the sanctity of marriage and affairs of the heart needing to be conventional, because you and Edwina hardly blaze a trail in that department. But when the chips are down, you're just a quisling. The fifth columnist, playing for the other side. The fact is, I haven't met anyone I like as much as Camilla, who is herself trapped in a marriage of your engineering with a husband who's bred in half of Gloucestershire. Invite us both to Broadland soon, and you'll see how happy we actually make one another. That is, if my happiness is even remotely important to you.
Let's go.
It feels like something bad's gonna happen.
Ahead! Ahead!
Like all these events are gonna come crashing.
The way this is edited is leading us to something unpleasant.
A little bit more muscle.
Not big. But he's catching something.
We're gonna throw this one back and then she can have her babies in peace.
Oh my god.
Damn! never good when they come in packs like this.
The whole family died.
Yeah. Well, now they all probably have to get pulled in for security.
Majesty, we received a copy of a telegram sent to the Foreign Office from the British Embassy in Dublin. It reads, at 13:05, the British ambassador was informed that there had been an explosion on Lord Mountbatten's boat in County Sligo. Lord Mountbatten is dead, as are the boat boy, Paul Maxwell, and Lord Mountbatten's grandson, Nicholas. Lord and Lady Braben, the IRA, has, I'm afraid, already claimed responsibility.
I just had that horrible conversation with him.
That's what he wrote to him.
My dear Charles, there exists no greater compliment than to be called a prince among men. Such a person earns his title with his ability to lead and inspire, an use of virtues to which you must reach and rise. And it grieves me to say that you are not working hard enough to reach and to rise. The choice of a woman was the issue around which the last Prince of Wales came to grief. And it's astonishing to me that 40 years after the abdication, you're making so little attempt to conceal your infatuation for another man's wife. This is your duty now, your most important task. You're more than a man, more than a prince. And one day, dear boy, you shall be king. And now, to the sea. I miss you enormously. There's no one whose company I enjoy more. But I think you know that. Your ever-loving, honorary grandpa, Dickie.
I will wage a war against the Irish Republican Army with relentless determination and without mercy until that war is won.
I don't mind admitting there were times where that transference of Dickie's affection, of his care, of his love, it might have given rise in me to a resentment. Of me. No, not your fault, of course. No. When one was as deprived of a father as I was, one can't help feeling, territorial of the next best thing, which Dickie was. To us both. What are you talking about? You have a father.
I'd be happy to stand aside, Papa, really. And then you can do the reading.
It's irrelevant. What I want or think is what matters to Dickie. And he chose you.
She'll be jumping last.
Timekeeper ready?
Ready?
Clear.
Wow.
Sucks that you can hear the commentator. Shut up.
Yes. She needs to pick it up.
As she heads towards the final fence.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that commentator.
I thought it was an extra pair of lungs to see around on couldn't hurt.
Except I doubt she'd have heard. Your father was making such a noise.
Was he?
Beside himself. I'm so happy Anne can give him that. It's really the best possible tonic for him.
We could all do with cheering up.
Yes.
There she is.
Your Royal Highness, I just wanted to offer my condolences. It must have been completely devastating for you. And your reading at the Abbey, how you held it all together under the circs.
Tell me about it.
What would you like to know?
Everything.
I'm not sure you want to know everything.
Maybe I do. Well, she's a teacher.
No, for that you'd need actual qualifications. More of a helper out. She's only just turned 18, you know. She also cleans for me. Part-time.
As in...
Like a cleaning lady.
Is she fun?
She can be great fun. I'm sure all the kids love her. I'm sure all the kids' dads love her too.
Really? What about her character?
Oh, well, everyone in the family calls her Dutch, because ever since childhood she's behaved as if she were destined for greater things. Oh dear, have I just put you on?
No. You've rather intrigued me now.
It's the Prince of Wales. Hello?
So it begins.
Your Royal Highness.
And then it
Yeah.
Ah.
Ooh, stop it. Before it goes on to the next one.
Oh wait. There.
Okay. Oh. You know, this show always makes it very easy to binge. And before you know, 3 hours have gone by, because how do you not go on to the next episode? So, where are you at?
I think they kind of, I could see how they're starting to kind of like, almost like ascend into this new stage very quickly. I feel like his love life was just summarized in one episode through all these women he's had in his life and haven't worked out. Then we get this dramatic Camilla moment, and then his uncle dies, gives him these words of wisdom.
Harsh words.
Then he's hit with like an epiphany, I guess, about Diana. Like we even found out about Sarah getting married. All of that was kind of just chopped up to get to the point of Diana. And then we know there's a lot of like drama as far as political chaos and
Unrest.
yeah.
But ultimately, we're brought to Charles's story.
Yeah. And then Margaret Thatcher, like what was that?
What do you mean?
I don't know, the way she expressed herself.
I believed her. I think it's It probably goes with the Margaret Thatcher legacy. We don't know the history, the actual history of it, but at least in the show, to me, it felt that Margaret Thatcher took it very personally as an attack on.
Well, it was a direct
on
attack.
the royal family, right? And so I that's why I believed her. I felt that she was ready to take a stand, as the government should take the stand to protect the crown and the royal family. That's how I took it. It's just very, not a political thing, but your family's in danger, and all we need to do is to say no. We're not going to tolerate that.
Do you think a part of the Queen maybe felt like this woman was an answered prayer, where she was going to take the kind of action she wishes she had the courage to act upon?
That moment for me was more about,
that face was
well, you know, again, the Queen does struggle with emotion, but I loved that moment because the way Olivia Colman lived in it made me feel as if she was, as you said, pleasantly surprised, but there's all kinds of mixed feelings there. They just lost Dickie, and on top of that, this woman, Mrs. Thatcher, steps in to say, no, this is not going to be tolerated, and it won't be politicized. It's going to be made right? At least in that moment, I felt that there was a buildup of too many emotions for the Queen to be able to.
I guess I had a hard
clearly.
time fully understanding how the Queen was receiving that. I know how I received it and what I thought.
I see what you mean. So how did she receive it?
That?
Yeah,
and I guess we'll find out maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I think it just sets us up in this big question mark. How did she receive that? Because it could be a good thing and it could be a very terrible thing. Either way, how Margaret Thatcher reacts to all of it. Really, what we're zeroing in on is Charles and Diana finally meeting.
And how sad is that relationship of father and son?
It broke my heart, yeah.
I mean, to envy your son to the point of like, well, Dickie loved me and then now he loved you more. Like, he had complete disregard for how his son's been feeling all these years without his own father loving him. Like, I don't know, that was just messed up.
But that scene with Charles and his father clearly had a few drinks in him, so he was a little bit more honest, a little bit more raw. The Duke is a human man who grew up without his father, and he probably has this position of, my son, you have it all. And on top of that, I find in the last instructions of the man I considered my own father, and he prefers you to me. That's a low blow. And how gut-wrenching to open that letter and the words that Dickie says to him about rising into his full-on destiny and call to be future king.
What kind of starts to kind of linger in my thoughts immediately are, you know, you have this beautiful woman, Diana, who's just turned 18. The perfect example of what Dickie said he should find. Comes from a good family, would perfectly fit into that mold of what Dickie expressed. But yet we know that there was always this strong feeling for Camilla. So, and we know what happens in the future to Diana, so we know where this is going.
Which is really terribly sad in a way, and then I have to force myself to live in the moment as it's happening right now. But I can't help but think of what went wrong, and the only sort of kind of fictional truth, not real truth, is that what we'll learn through The Crown.
Yeah.
But it makes me empathize so deeply with Charles already, because he's discovered this beautiful woman who seems to be such a light right now in the very dark time. But something then goes awry.
We don't know a lot of the story of the royal family, so for us it's like a first time look at a lot of these things. Right? I mean, at least I know from my perspective.
Same.
Politically, I don't know how much you know.
I didn't know. I only knew something bad was going to happen to Dickie because of the editing and the masterful storytelling cinematically that this show always offers. And really going forward, there's going to be a lot of things that you all have probably seen if you've seen the series already. So please don't spoil it for us. Maybe tease about, more to come. Obviously, we know there's a lot more to develop really quick here with Charles and Diana, and that's exciting. There's something romantically, it's like this, I don't know, I can't help but think of Romeo and Juliet in a way, the way they first met with the mask on that she was wearing. And it's tragic because just like Romeo and Juliet, we know how this ends. And there's something profoundly impacting that it is all based on real life. Well, guys, this was our reaction and review of episode 1. Get ready and stay tuned for episode 2. that will be coming your way shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is MaJeliv, and remember, if you want to see a little bit more of what we have to offer, check out our MaJeliv Insiders Club on Patreon. We will put a card for that up here somewhere. And so that's it. Thank you very much. Spread your light, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.